Namaskar. Oh, sorry. This is English. I got into Hindi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3 of Wrong One, sponsored by the OG Parleji. Pata nahi, I don't know why I said that because I just ate Parleji an hour back. Joining me once again on this special cricket podcast is Kevin, straight from Durham, and a Durham boy, Mark Wood, has showed his magic in the third Ashes test as England have managed to finally win a home test against Australia in this series. It's 2-1 at the moment as the Ashes gets tight. I think the next match is 10 days away, so there is a lot of time to discuss the Ashes as well. Whereas we have the second qualifier as well. I think we were discussing about how Zimbabwe will qualify, but it's not Zimbabwe. Netherlands have qualified for the ICC World Cup 2023. We'll come to that point. Before that, if you're wondering why we were late, Kevin was taking 17 minutes to get ready. I don't know. He's like, my fans want to see the best of me, and then he realized that he has no fans, so we had to start at some point. No problem at all. Let's move on to the cricket, Kevin. First of all, Ashes 2-1. Brilliant cricket game again. Headingley giving us a thriller, Leeds giving us a thriller. Yes, it wasn't Stokes with the final boundary, it was Vokes, but you have to give it to Mark Wood. I think 7 wickets in the match, 24 of 8 in the first innings, 16 of 8 in the second innings, and the 6 against Pat Cummins when you require 18 runs with 3 wickets in hand. Yes, it's a top age, but it's more than enough when 18 are required with 3 wickets in hand. Very, very good game. Your thoughts, first of all, on the game and how it progressed? I think it was one of the best games, because so many ebbs and flows at the moment. Like at the start, you thought Australia are well ahead in the game, and then England come back, Stokes with that 18 that first innings, and then they get bowled out for around 200, 225, and then 251 to chase again. Six down, Bairstow gone. You think England can't do this, but then Wokes and Brook do it for them. So a very interesting game. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it was good game of cricket. I think kudos to the curator who prepared a really good pitch. There was something in it for the bowlers as well, and yes, I think Pat Cummins, I think just got carried away with himself. I think he didn't trust the other bowlers. He kind of like over bowled himself. I thought there was an opportunity for him. He could have thrown the ball to Murphy a little bit earlier, but I think he was not that confident enough. I think. It, maybe this is something that we're going to see with bowling captains a lot. They try to overbowl themselves a bit. But yeah, otherwise, it was a really good game. I think Harry Brook did a really good job there by hanging in there. But kudos to Chris Wokes and Mark Wood for hanging in there. In between, I there was a phase of play where I thought that Australia would try to just go short and try to cut off the singles. I think that would have worked in their favor a bit because that it would have completely choked the run flow. But they tried to be a little bit of like you can say they went try to be aggressive, and I think they just blinked a bit, and I think that was enough for England to claw back into the game. So yeah, all round it was a really good advertisement of Test cricket that we've seen. Three good games, and it's just the series is just showing turning up to be the guy who holds his nerve and who doesn't blink first. He's going to make it through, and it was a really good game.
Yeah, if you look at the series closely, I think first game could have gone either way, especially with 8 down. It was Cummins and Lyon who won the game for Australia. You could have said like England could have won that game. I don't know how we have got, but I think there is one viewer watching us. It's probably you, Kevin. If you are watching the stream, then ask some questions as well, because we generally have no viewers. I mean, it's the same number of money in my account. It's just one, not even dollar, 1 rupee. And I think that's your payment for this podcast as well, like 1 rupee, if I'm not wrong. And if I'm not wrong, you haven't even got that for the first two podcasts.
I don't know how much is the interest rate on that.
No issues, but yeah, as I was talking about the first game, I think it could have gone either way. Definitely second game, you could say that Australia dominated it, but at the same time Stokes tried to turn it in their favor at the end, on the fifth day, if I'm not wrong. And then this game as well could have gone either way with like probably another wicket, and then you could have said that Australia were favorites. So it's a very very interesting series. I think one, like, there are a lot of positives for both teams, like especially Harry Brook I think was fantastic in that second innings because he hadn't done anything significant so far. But I think the issue for England is Johnny Bairstow and even Moeen Ali with the bat. But I think his primary role is spin bowling, and he got the key wickets of Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, so I think that's enough to keep him in the side. Robinson is injured, so I expect Anderson to replace him. But a talking point I would like to discuss is Scott Boland, because his average in Australia against England was like unbelievable. And you would think that England conditions, definitely bowl at one length, bowl at one line, and you will definitely get wickets. Scott Boland, perfect conditions for him. But I think he's just got two wickets in the series so far. I think he has an average of 110 or 105 or something like that, and it's been awful for him. So your thoughts on Scott Boland quickly, if you could if you would like to discuss about that.
I think Scott Boland is a very good bowler when you want to try to pin the batsman. You keep consistently bowling that particular length, choke the run flow. So the with the ploy that England batsmen are trying to, they're rushing towards him. They're playing him well. They're rotating the strike. What's happening is his lengths have been shuffled up, and that is the reason I think he's not been able to produce those kind of results. I think this is something that we need to look into depth. Is does the bowler get the kind of fields that he wants? So because what Australia have done very well is they're trying to cut the boundary options for the English batsmen. So the more the shots they play, it's just going to be singles and doubles. So if you look at the number of maiden overs that have been bowled in this Test match, you see it's pretty low. And I think the only maiden over that was bowled in the entire second innings, I think that was in the fourth innings, I think was by Scott Boland. So I think that is something that's not working with him. But let's see. I think yes, Cummins might want to rest him and bring Hazelwood back for the next Test match. I don't know what they're going to do with Todd Murphy, because I think just like Kane Williamson doesn't trust his spinners a bit. I think it's just going to it's gone. We could just see the way.
Yeah. No, I think Todd Murphy can continue because they need to play one spinner, right? I mean, who is the other spinner? They can probably go to Travis Head or Marnus if they want, but I would suggest, like, I would think they would continue with Todd Murphy, no?
Yes, they would continue with Todd Murphy, but I think they would like to revisit that particular. It depends all on the field, but like I was saying, like just like Ken Williamson, you have a player like Ajaz Patel, but you fear that he will concede a lot of runs, so you don't bowl him, and it luckily in Test matches doesn't haunt you that much, because you just have you just get fined, or it's just an overrate, so it doesn't have any outcome on the it doesn't
No,
affect
I
the
think
match.
your points get deducted from the WTC
Yes, but
points
if
table.
he
So
had that move worked in today, and Australia had won the Ashes today itself, so even if a one match suspension or some points dropped off,
yeah, no, no, there are no suspensions. It's
yeah,
just deduction in points. And if I'm not wrong, Australia lost a place in the WTC final in the first WTC,
yes,
where
yes,
New Zealand made it against India and they won it. But yeah, coming back to your point about the team, I think changes for England I would suggest is they would definitely bring in Anderson for Robinson. Where is the fourth match? Is it at Manchester Old Trafford? If I'm not wrong.
yes, it is. Yes, it
Yeah, so
is.
definitely Anderson is playing. It's his home ground, and he has a stand named after him or an end named after him. If so, definitely Anderson plays there in place of Robinson. Vokes and would have to continue. Broad has been fantastic throughout the series, and Moeen Ali the spinner. I think in the batting department, is Pope ruled out for the whole series?
Not sure, I'll have to check, but I think he's kind of ruled
Yeah.
out the entire
Yeah,
series.
but I think then they can stick with the same batting. Do you think Dan Lawrence? But who do they remove? Who do they drop? Like, is it Johnny Bairstow who will be
Oh, so
axed,
the
or?
only player whose position seems vulnerable in the team is Mohan Ali, just because are England looking to him as a bowler who can take wickets, or they're looking at him as an all rounder. So that is something that needs to be looked into, because if you the Zach Crawley has not done much. Ben Duckett has blown hot and cold. Similarly with Johnny Best, so he's just had a one good 50, and I think England needs players who can actually bring either solidity to into the middle order, or can just give them a big score, and that both is something that Mohan Ali has not been able to do. So I don't think they
Kevin,
would.
Kevin, Kevin, it's a miracle. Once again, we have one viewer. I don't know how. One viewer is like a achievement for us. If you have any questions, do ask us in the comment section. I don't know. I just get excited when I see that one person watching the stream. But yeah, sure. I think you're talking about Moin Ali and how he might not feature in the 11 for the next match.
Yeah, it's a bit it's a little you don't know what to expect with
Mhm.
baseball. Like, do they want him for his batting? Because the kind of bowling that he is doing, I think that's something that even Joe Root could do. And the wickets that he took off Manas and Steve Smith were actually poor shot selection. They
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
good
that I
balls.
agree. Yeah.
Yes, it happened once. I don't think it's going to happen again. So it depends. So that's the reason. Yeah, coming back to Jimmy Anderson at Manchester, it's a little tricky for me like to give a verdict on this, but statistically he is still to get his first five at Old Trafford at his home ground.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Wait, let me ask my producer. Hello, Ramesh. Ramesh, if you could tell me this. That we don't have any producers for the show. I'm just joking. I think the sponsors are OG Parleji. I'm hoping that the sponsors are OG Parleji. I mean, at some point of time, they have to sponsor me because the advertisement I do for Parleji is just insane. But yeah, coming back to cricket, I think, yeah, I'm surprised that you say that James Anderson doesn't have a 5 wicket haul at Old Trafford, which is like really surprising. He has an end name after him at that ground, and the ball does move there. So I don't know. Hopefully, the next game, next Ashes Test, he gets a fifer. But he hasn't been at his best in this series, and probably this is his last Ashes series as well. We never know. I think he's 41, 40, 40, still going strong. Very close to 700 test wickets. Broad at the same time, very close to 600 test wickets. So let's see who reaches the milestone first. But yeah, as I said, Australia, I think the biggest question for them is does Cameron Green come back? Because Mitchell Marsh, geez, what an innings that was in that first innings again, first innings on that first day, ball moving around, Mark Wood bowling with extreme pace, and this guy comes in and smashes 100 of 110 balls. Incredible hitting and striking ability, isn't it?
Yes, it was, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm presuming that they would like to they would see how head is placed and would he like to bowl in a few overs, and based on that they would like to bring in Cam Green in place of Todd Murphy, because and it depends on the pitch. If the pitch is flat, they would like to employ the short ball tactics. And I think I was very impressed with the way Mitchell Marsh was able to swing the ball. And I read a stat that it said that he was the one who had the ability to swing it the most. So something similar to Colin de Grandhomme. So maybe it
Dibbly
would.
dobbly, dibbly dobbly is the word.
Yes, yes. So it would be very interesting to see if what Australia think about. But it's 10 days away, and there's a lot of time for that. So yeah, fingers crossed. Like I hope it's a very
Yeah,
like
I mean, the my
game.
only problem is that it's 10 days away. I mean, just keep the matches a bit like the gaps a bit shorter, because we like people like us, Kevin and me, don't have anything to do in their life. We just wait for the next match, next cricket match. So definitely would like the Ashes Test to like start early, and it's like getting very interesting. 2-1, as I said. If England can win the next match, it's gonna be a thriller of a final. Where is the last match? Is it at the
Uh,
Oval? Is it at the Oval?
yes, it is at the Oval.
Yeah, it is at the Oval. I guessed it right. Yeah. Yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Before that, Kevin, we have a question from Pooja. I'm just joking. Nobody's watching this show. Who will ask you a question? We have to put in jokes in between, or else we will anyways not get views. So I'm just trying to bring the fun element in here. But yeah, talking about the next topic, which is the World Cup qualifiers, and definitely last time we discussed about how West Indies have not qualified, but at the same time we were expecting Zimbabwe to qualify, but it's Netherlands who have qualified. So it's Sri Lanka and Netherlands for the 2023 ODI World Cup. I mean, that's the only news we want to give. Kevin, you have any thoughts on this?
Um,
I mean, that last game was very interesting. That guy took a 5 4 and scored 100. Very, very great performance.
I'm very happy actually to see this player making still playing for Netherlands. It's Wesley, I think Baresi. I think he bats at number 3, 37
Yeah,
year
yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
We
know.
have a question coming in. No, we genuinely have a question coming in. If you could answer this, will this be Anderson's last Ashes?
Oh yes, I think this is definitely going to be his last Ashes.
He's not playing the 2025 Ashes happening in Australia on
No,
flat
no, no,
wickets.
no. I don't think so because I think I'm not sure, but I thought that he would get his 700 wickets in this Test series. But the kind of pitches that England are producing, I think maybe if England win the Ashes back, I think he would like to retire. Yeah, but
So he's not going to trouble India in the 2025 which trophy? MAK Patodi Trophy.
no, I don't think so. Not on these kind of pitches, definitely
Yeah,
not.
I just also wanted to ask you: are you like in for the plan to Lords 2025? I'm planning to go to Lords 2025 India versus England.
Interesting. Like I'm not sure. Like, uh, yeah.
I mean, we will get the sponsors till then, so don't worry. But yeah, continue about the Netherlands thing which you're talking about.
Yeah, just as saying, I'm very excited to see Weasley Baresi. I think is he's 37-year-old. I think he was a keeper back then in the 2011 World Cup. So I'm happy to see him. And my only memory of Netherlands back in 2011 was I think Kimarosh got a hat trick. Yeah, and there was this player. I don't know if you'll remember Ryan Tenduskate.
Nikhil Potnis is asking questions in the chat. If you're free, why don't you join the podcast? Just message me on WhatsApp if you're free. I will send you the link, okay? We'll come to the India versus West Indies test match, but sorry to again interrupt you about the Netherlands thing. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was talking. I remember two my faint memories with the Netherlands. Two players. I think Peter Bourne was the captain, but two players that I was very impressed. One was Peter Silar, I think, and he took 3 wickets against India and almost put India in a slight like a muddle. But I think Yuvraj Singh got one of his, I think, his third 50 and bailed India out. And the second was Ryan Tenduskate, who got two centuries, one against England and one against Ireland. And that was a very he's one of my best friend Philip's favorite player who even played for KKR. Yeah, so Ryan Tenduskate, I think he
No, no,
averages
one minute. Ryan
7.
Tendescott is your best friend.
He's my best friend's favorite player who played for KKR.
Best friend's favorite, my favorite player.
Philip is my best.
Acha,
Yeah.
I'm just confused who is your best friend and who is his favorite player. So I was just asking. I'm joking. Yeah. But yeah, very interesting memories there from Kevin based on the Netherlands side. And as you know, it's a 10-team ODI tournament, the ODI World Cup 2023. Each team plays against each other team, and then the top four qualify for the semi-finals. Not the system of the IPL where first place, second, and you have two chances and all that is not there. It's first versus fourth, second versus third. Winners go to the final, and you will obviously have a super over in the final, and even the super over will get tied, and then we might have to share the trophy. Or not, no, sorry, not share the trophy. The trophy will be decided on the boundary count. But yeah, moving on. Let's talk about the Indian cricket team. Lot of jokes done now. Let's get into some serious talk. Obviously the Ashes was the serious talk as well, but talking about the India versus West Indies test series, I think the test series starts on 12th of July, so it's just 3 days away. That's good news for me and Kevin because we just have to waste 2 more days of our life and then we'll get to watch some more interesting cricket. But yeah, India versus West Indies first test series, first test 12th July. First 11 for the first test. Kevin, I will just name out my 11, and you could like suggest changes in that. I think Gill and Rohit open. Jaiswal at 3 is what I'm going with. Okay, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Nikhil Potnis. Please, big round of applause.
Hi guys, how are you?
No, nobody
Good.
asked how are you and all. Don't have to
But
tell
I'm
all that.
asking.
Yeah, we were discussing about the the 11 for the first test against West Indies, which you wanted to discuss, Nikhil. By the way, just to tell you that the payment for this podcast is 1 rupee. If you're interested to know that, I'm just telling you.
Oh, I might have to leave then.
No, no, you have to send your UPI ID, and our sponsors, OG Parleji, will send you that 1 rupee.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
they are sending us. Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
thought I had to send.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's talk about the 11. Do you agree with Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma to open the innings and with Jaiswal at 3?
See, that is the interesting point. Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe Shubman Gill can play at three.
Yeah, I was going to
Uh,
suggest the same thing. I was going to say the same thing. I think I would like to see because in for the future, I think Shubman Gill would be better suited for Indian cricket and for himself to bat in the middle order. So I would like to see him bat at maybe three in this series, but it's all up to Shubman Gill whether he wants to follow in his idols. Kind of like a game style of batting, of opening the innings in ODIs and batting at number four in Test cricket, or he just wants to be kind of like a Sehwag and open in all formats. So yeah,
Yeah, and I
Even
think
I, yeah,
because
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's Jaiswal's first test, so maybe just uh play him in a position he's familiar with, and I don't know like what the future planning is for Shubman. But did he play at in the under 19 World Cup?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
in the under 19 World Cup,
yeah,
Gill was number three. He's talking about Gill,
yeah,
right?
because
Yeah, yeah, Gill.
Manjot Kalra used to open right with
yes,
Prithvi
Yeah,
Shaw.
with Prithvi Shaw.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
left.
Prithvi
So
Shaw.
yeah,
I
so and
mean,
then
I
you
don't
get
know what
the
his name.
righty
Yeah,
lefty combination as well
correct,
at the
correct,
top.
correct.
So yeah, maybe who knows?
Correct. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. But I don't think that will. I mean, I'm also in favor of that, but I'm not sure whether that's going to happen or not. Because even I would like to see Gill in the middle order. I think he's more suited to the middle order than opening the innings. But definitely, I think that's the top three. We will see how they arrange that in the first test. I think Jaiswal opened in the practice match with Rohit Sharma. So yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
saw
hope.
that. I saw
Yeah,
that as
let's
well.
hope
Yeah.
that, that's a possibility. Obviously, four is Nikhil Potni. Sorry, Virat Kohli. Five, Ajinkya Rahane, the new vice captain. I don't know how. I mean, he wasn't even in the team till the second last test match, but
Yeah, I
now
don't
he's the vice
understand.
captain.
Maybe someone like Jadeja can, I mean, I don't know, there is a bad track record of Jadeja being in a leadership role.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
can, I mean, he's at least more cemented in the team than Rahane, but yeah, I don't know.
Kevin, your thoughts on Rahane as the vice captain?
No, I'm also astonished as to like I can understand if it's a five match test series and you want.
Nikhil, no, sorry. I mean, if the red glass is a sponsor, definitely show that because we need
No,
money.
it is not. It's not a
Okay,
sponsor. It
okay,
is
okay, okay.
clear.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, go ahead. Yeah, you're shocked with Rahane as vice captain, right?
Yeah, I'm also surprised a bit because I can understand if it's a long five match test series and you are not sure whether will Rohit Sharma be able to play all five and you wanted someone senior to take over, then having someone like an Ajinkya Rahane makes sense. But for a small test series against West Indies, which I'm assuming might get over within 3 to 4 days, so
See,
I'm a little.
don't assume things. Don't assume things. Assumptions and all you don't do.
I was
Okay.
thinking they
That
would have gone ahead with Shubman Gill as vice captain. I thought I
Mm.
was
interesting,
wrong.
interesting. That's too
Yeah.
like you're going too ahead in the future. I know he's the future captain and all, the future superstar, but like, is he ready for the vice captainship, Nikhil?
I mean, I don't know. He's been in the team for a while now. I don't think he's had any prior captaincy experience or
Yes.
leadership experience. Um, but I mean, Ajinkya Rahane doesn't really make that much sense. I don't know how many more series he's going to play for India because it kind of
True,
feels
true.
that if he has another bad series, what they're going to drop him again. So I mean, I don't know, and there's a lot of good young Indian middle order batsmen for Test match. I mean, Sarfaraz Khan keeps getting
Yeah,
snubbed
yeah. Even
every
even
time.
Shreyas Iyer is injured right now, right?
Yes, yeah, Shreyas Iyer is going to come back at some point. I don't know Tilak Verma. I don't know his Test record how good or Ranji record how.
Rinku Singh has a fantastic Ranji record. Kevin,
Yeah,
if
he
I'm
made
not
a
wrong.
50 right recently in the Duleep
I
Trophy.
think all the
Yeah.
I think every cricketer I don't know any cricketer besides Sanju Samson who has got a poor first class record in India.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that is true.
who is a
No, I know,
yeah,
I know. It's Nikhil Potnis has a very poor first class record.
yeah. But
Yeah, yeah.
this is where Indian cricket kind of like deviates from like the top you can say countries. You look at England. I don't think any of their most of their players don't even have the current generation don't have even a first class average of 40. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, but they're banking on players whom they think are good enough to play. And
Hmm.
like even you saw that with Australia. I think Manas had an average of 26 or something when he got picked for the first time. I think around 20. I think it was 19 or something when he got picked to play against against Pakistan.
UAE, yeah, in UAE, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So I think like first class statistics are only used to justify selections that have been driven strongly by IPL performance. That's my perspective on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at like someone like Hardik Pandya and all, those people, those IPL people who came in, sometimes I feel that they need like a big stage to perform, and then you kind of get the potential out of them. When it's domestic matches and like warm up matches, then they won't perform. But when you put them on the big stage, you see all the potential that they have.
So back in the day, like Ranji cricket was a big thing. The last time I remember, I think following Ranji cricket was around 2015, 16 or something around that time when Gujarat, like led by Parthiv Patel, they stunned everyone and
Mm.
they won the Ranji trophy.
Yeah,
After
I
that,
think
was
I followed till Vidarbha won it. After that, I have no idea. I mean, I know Madhya Pradesh won it in between, and then Saurashtra won it, but I'm not sure who was performing well and all. But Vidarbha, I remember Rajneesh Gurbani with the ball. I had
yes.
a fantastic season one year, and then they won it. But yeah, but I think yeah, Ranji, like the importance of the Ranji trophy is like
The
declining.
point that I was making is what is happening is with India having this since I'm not sure. I think since Ravi Shastri took over, they've had this like longing and fantasy for having bigger squads, even for home series. For home series, so a lot of the Ranji sides they are depleted of international quality. None of the players, like I remember Rohit Sharma, when there were talks of bringing him into the team, he would go and play a lot of domestic cricket. I don't recall like Shreyas Iyer for that matter since making his ODI debut has gone back to play in you can say in first class cricket, and for that matter,
Yeah.
then that happens is because what the team does is if they pick a player for one format, they prefer to keep him into the squad for all three formats, and because that
Mm.
player is traveling, doesn't he neither has the statistics to force the door open, neither he is allowed to go and break the door open by playing the game. So it's a bad state actually, honestly, and the only way to revive this is to have kind of like an India versus India A. Like I think we had the Irani and Cup and the India Red, India Blue, India Green kind of form tournaments. I think we have to bring that back in, but let's see. I don't see anyone investing in that. So yeah, it's bad.
And as you said, like people are not going back to the Ranji Trophy. Like even like a player like Nikhil Portnes is sitting here and doing podcasts where he could have like go play the Tulip Trophy, get some runs, and then come back to the Indian team. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
why he's wasting
right.
time on this episode, wrong one. But yeah, I think Kevin gave some interesting ideas about the India Blue, India Red, and India Green. So if anybody's interested, Kevin can sponsor all these trophies, and he will definitely pay for all the ground expenses and players as well. So
But
Kevin,
talking
definitely,
about domestic,
yeah,
sorry, talking about domestic,
yeah.
Indian domestic cricket, Pujara scored another 100 in
Yeah,
domestic
he
in
he
the
did. He
Tulip
did.
Trophy. So now what, we bring him back?
Yeah, there's an interesting, like we had discussed last time, Nikhil. I would like your opinion on that. So let's assume if Yashasvi Jaiswal scores 200 runs in this particular series, what is the
250. You said 250 last time.
so yeah, so the threshold is 289 because Hanma
289.
Vihari
Okay.
first
Okay.
overseas,
Okay.
not overseas, the first time he became a full-time player for
Mhm.
India was against West Indies in 2019
Yeah,
when he and
just like
Ajinkya
Kevin is a
Rahane
full-time
scored.
employee with his company, Hanuma Vihari became a full-time player. Yeah.
Yeah, so so yeah, so he got his opportunities at that position at number 6, and both he and Ajinkya Rahane scored 250. I think 276 was Rahane's scores, while 289 was Hanuma Vihari.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that
So
series.
I'm
Yeah.
saying if in case if Yashasvi Jaiswal does well, what is the significance of that score? Do you say okay, now he's a number 3, or you still have a doubt, like kind of?
I think I think one good thing about these West Indies test matches, Sri Lanka test matches is that you can try these players out, because I think if we have to go to England now, say after the
Yeah.
West Indies test matches, I think you go back with Pujara. Even after
Hey,
giving
are you
giving
also
someone
going to
like
England
Jaiswal
after
the
the series?
experience. Huh?
Sorry. Continue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So after even giving the experience to Jaiswal, you can still go back to someone like Pujara, because he works there. Or say Australia. Australia is an even better example. He scored so many runs over there. I don't think it's like, okay, now we've stuck with this guy, he's our guy. I think you can keep changing it, especially in these I don't want to say weaker countries, but just these matches where you can afford to rotate a bit and not lose too many points on the World Test Championship table. So I think you can still rotate it and see how it's going. And when the big matches come, you can go back to your your Pujaras, and then suppose it's a 5 match series. Pujaras not made runs in 2 matches. There's someone like Yashasvi Jaiswal who's made runs. You can bring him back in. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
makes
personally
good.
don't don't
Makes a
I pers
yeah.
I personally don't agree a lot with, like, okay, we can change our bowlers, but our batters are our batters. We can't change the batters.
Yeah.
Like, why? You can change the batters too. Like, I know there's like form and this thing, but if a batter is not in form, you can get someone in. And I know that bowlers need rest and all that, but if the batter is not in form, then, 2 matches he hasn't made runs, get someone in for the third match.
Yeah, because it's a very interesting point because my biggest uh, my biggest criticism Virat Kohli as Test captain was that he gave up the captaincy before taking India into the transition period. And
Hmm.
yes, because most of the players who especially the batsmen who are playing now have all debuted under Dhoni.
Hmm.
Yes, and Dhoni gave them a lot of opportunities, and we're waiting to see now who's going to be the next. So we moved on completely from Shikhar Dhawan and Murli Vijay, and now we have a new combo. So we pushed Rohit Sharma to open, and I think besides that one century he had in against England, he's not given the kind of confidence that he'll be around. So yes, it's either been injuries where he's missed important series, or he's not shown. So he's not turned up because I think he's missed the South Africa series, he missed the New Zealand series as well, and in Australia also I think he's just there for two test matches. Yeah,
Hmm.
so yes, so I think we'll be looking at a replacement for Rohit Sharma also very soon. So yes, Yashasvi Jaiswal can slot in, but yes, we have to see how do we rotate these players. And the only player whom we could have said would not be suitable to be rotated would have been Virat Kohli, but he's there around, but yeah,
Now that
he
he's not captain, I think you can even rotate him as well.
yeah
I don't think there is
he's
a
the only
problem,
player
and
whom is
it
bankable, like that is the
yeah,
that yeah.
it
So
helps with the transition. Like,
exactly,
in a few years, Virat Kohli will also have to. I mean, I don't know actually because
yeah, with
his
Virat Kohli
fitness is so
you can
good.
never question
Yeah,
Virat, but the
and
the
now
question
players are
is,
playing for you know.
yes. So like I had two parts of the question. So we spoke already about Jaiswal, but if Rahane scores a 300 in this series, so what happens then?
300 or total 300?
Total 300 in the series.
Okay.
So what do we do? Kind of pack him now for the uh for the series, or what happens then? Because
I think you can
considering that
keep
we have
playing
the
him,
yeah
and again, like, if he's getting out of form, you can get players in. But again, I think this helps with the transition, that you get another middle order player to start playing some matches. So when the big matches come, he is ready for that kind of a stage. So I mean, Virat Kohli was picked for this test match, but I wouldn't have mind if someone else was there at four, like Sarfaraz Khan. I don't know why he keeps on getting. They never seem to pick him. I don't know if it's like a fitness thing or something. I don't know, but try to get these guys in the system. Try to have them play a few matches here and there. Obviously, the India A stuff helps, and if they're playing in the IPL, then the pressure and all of that also, they get used to that. But if you can have some middle order players play a match here and there, if it's a 3 match series, we won 2-0, have, so, rotate some players in. But and then once these big players have started dipping out of form, then you have at least some players who you don't mind can come in and start to play, basically.
Yeah. I think that India missed an opportunity. I think they should have picked. They should have picked maybe even a 25 player squad for this
Hmm.
season.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I was also supposed to be on the plane to West Indies. I don't
yeah,
know
as an
why.
analyst, I think they would
Yeah,
have done better with you because
yeah. I mean, yeah.
you don't have any you don't have any.
Backup opener.
I don't. Do we have any domestic games currently? No, right?
That's just the Duleep Trophy going on. I think apart from that, nothing else is going on.
Yeah. So I
Ranjit starts after rains, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ranji has like still time because
so
the
you
rainy
could have
season is going on.
you could have had someone like Sarfraz because the only uh, like the criticism that currently he's getting besides his on-field antics are that he struggled against extreme pace bowling in
Extreme
the
pace,
IPL.
Mark Wood. If you remember, he was like scared against Mark Wood in that IPL game against
Yes.
Lucknow.
So yes, because for that matter, even Suresh Raina has had short ball issues. We've seen even
Hmm.
Yuvraj for that matter in South Africa. I've seen, like this is back 2010. I've seen like even him have kind of like some struggles. Gautam Gambhir for that matter. So it's you just can't. Even Shreyas Iyer for that matter has these issues. So, but doesn't mean that you will not pick him in
Yeah,
test.
even Nikhil's girlfriend has her issues. I don't know.
Don't let that pass.
I have been told to like put two jokes in every minute. So like the sponsor
That's
has paid me extra. Sponsor has paid me extra, so I have to do
Yeah,
this.
I don't get any cut from those jokes, but
But yeah, I think yeah, Sarfaraz Khan's like I mean everybody is like confused why he doesn't get picked. I think he has to stop showing fingers to people because I don't know. I mean that can't be the reason to not pick a player for a series, especially after scoring so many runs. I mean it's unfair for him as well
yeah.
as the
It's
players who
like
do
then
well in
what
the
is
Ranji
what is
Trophy.
the point of the Ranji Trophy?
Playing
Just
Ranji
don't
Trophy,
play.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I think Kevin was trying to make a point last podcast that just like how you have to do a masters after BTech to get a good job, you have to have a good IPL record on your resume as well. Which again
Yeah.
didn't make sense if you are going to play Test cricket. Definitely for white ball formats, you need a good IPL record on your resume. But I mean, it's confusing in
So
my
food for
opinion.
thought. If had Mukesh Kumar not made his debut in the IPL this season, do you think he would have
Yeah,
been in the squad?
yeah, very good question. I think the
Mukesh
answer is no.
Kumar being
Yeah.
in the white ball squad just doesn't make any
I mean, we'll
sense.
come to that point. I am going to definitely
I don't
take
think he
that
would have
point.
made it to the Test squad as well had he
Yeah,
not.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. I mean,
It's
Abhimanyu Ishwaran and Priyank Panchal or like
Yeah.
these guys have been there, done that in the Ranji Trophy, but still are not making the squads. While Ruturaj Gaikwad, who has like a below par Ranji record, or especially Ranji season, the last Ranji season was below par. He was not even the leading run scorer for Maharashtra. He has been picked in the squad. So yeah,
But
there are
the
definitely
thing,
issues.
the thing about the like the taking into IPL record and IPL form,
Hmm.
the way Test
Mm-hmm.
cricket is moving, it
Okay.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
feels that it's not such a bad idea. Like so for our first Test match, I don't think it's that bad of a shout to have someone like Ishan Kishan
it's an
bat at
interesting
like seven.
it's an interesting discussion because West Indies Test bowling is really good. You have Alzari
Yeah,
Joseph, you have Shan Gabriel, you have Kima Roach, you have Jason Holder.
older. Yeah,
What about Kyle Mayers with his WWs? Got a 6 4 against England.
is
Yeah,
he
so
even in the squad?
He's
yeah,
not in the squad?
I think he is.
Yeah, he should be. I will check the squad, but yeah.
Yeah, Shea Hope is not there. Yeah, I'm not sure if Dowrich is there. He's still there. I think Joshua De Silva.
Shane Dowrich
I
you're talking
don't
about, right?
think Dowrich is there.
No,
I
no,
think they go with that Joshua De Silva.
yeah,
Yeah,
Joshua
yeah.
De Silva is there.
I mean, three cricket experts are discussing who plays for West Indies. That's the bad state of the West Indies cricket team at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not
West
there.
Indies
Kyle
first
Mayer
test.
is
What?
not there.
Kyle Mayers is not there. Okay. Jason Holder is there. Rakim Cornwall has been selected. That's the big news, as everybody knows. And then, as you said, Gabriel, Joseph, Kemar Roach, and then Jomel Varikan as well. I think. Yeah, Rakim
Spinner.
Cornwall is the spinner. Yeah. Jermaine Blackwood is the vice captain, and Craig Brathwaite, obviously, the captain who will open the innings. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, you're talking about how the West Indies fast bowling attack is decent at the test level.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's just that I think last time also they did pretty well. They rattled through our top order on multiple occasions. That is the reason the middle order was able to get in good opportunities, and both our number five, number six scored truckloads of runs. I don't think any of our openers or in the top four got even a century or something for that matter. It was just Hanuma Vihari and Rani who scored the bulk of the runs. So yeah, they have a really good bowling. So I'm very excited to see how Jaiswal fares against them. I think Gill will have a good time. Even Rohit Sharma
How
might.
Jaiswal fails against them?
Yeah, because
Fails.
no, how he goes against them.
Fairs.
Fares,
Fares.
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 The reason why I'm saying is why I don't rate IPL cricket that much, and why like you can see even
You
for
don't rate IPL cricket now.
no, why is because for matter if you look at um, Surya Kumar Yadav, why he struggled in ODI is because when you play T20, so you have
Hmm.
like let's say I'm playing against like Andrik Nokia for that matter. So Surya Kumar Yadav was just going to play him 2 overs, maybe in the power play, two in the death. He's not going to have a
Hmm.
kind of like a 5 over spell or a 6 over spell against him. So
Yeah.
you can knock one good ball for a boundary. Maybe you rotate out the strike. You don't play the remaining over. It's fine. Okay, but then the next over in the IPL, what happens is from Andrik Nokia, you're going back to someone like a Nishan Sharma for that matter, or maybe a Mukesh Kumar. So that's easy to score and put the pressure on. And in ODI cricket, that's not what happens. It's more a little more, you be a little more patient, so you have to be a lot more consistent in your shot making and decision making as compared to in T20s. So that is my like I can understand when you're judging kind of like performances like let's say for example which was like something like Rinko Singh did, that was under pressure, 5 sixes that he got. Even I think
Mm.
the one he played against was it LSG, I think, for that matter. He almost he they lost by 1 run or
Um,
something like that.
Who? Yeah, yeah.
Rinku
The
Singh.
20.
I
Yeah,
don't remember.
2022 game you're talking about, right?
No, the 23, one more game that they lost by just 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah, yeah. It
The
was
last game,
LSG. Yeah, LSG. It was LSG. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes,
I
again.
think Yash Thakur bowled the last over, and Rinku Singh, like, if he could have taken that 2-1 delivery, they could have won that game. I remember that game. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're using those performances judge IPL cricket, I can understand because that's completely under pressure. You don't have you like if you make a mistake, the game's over. So if you're judging those performances, it's fine. But if you look at the average statistics, runs, and all, I don't think that matters that much. It's if you're considering matchups and all, like something like an AB de Villiers versus Dale Steyn or something like that, then that's something like really good statistics to look at. Else, I'm not so keen on that because this is the main
Yeah.
reason why India has not done well in T20s because a bulk of your
Yeah.
batsmen are having good statistical records. And if you look at the statistics, the top three, top four, and now you have 10 teams. That's you have like 20, 30 players, but all top order batsmen. And now
Mm.
you're going to fit them in your middle order, and then you try to. It's poor planning and like
Yeah, I've
Yeah, yeah.
always
Same.
thought that for T20 cricket, our biggest problem is that we don't have enough depth. We don't have bowlers who can bat, and we don't have batters who can bowl.
yeah.
That is one of
Interesting.
the
Interesting.
biggest problems I think in our, because we have our top five, and then we have Hardik, and then we have Jadeja, and then the bowlers are basically guys who just bowl. Or then you have to get like Shardul Thakur or someone like that, who, I mean, let's be honest, is not the best, T20 player.
Yeah, but
So
my also criticism with that factor is why are the bowlers always having to make the sacrifice? Why don't we
no,
have
even the batter should be able to bowl, I
yes,
think.
but we're looking at all our we're looking at pure batsmen. If you look, you're looking at picking someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad, pure batsman. You look at
Yeah,
Jaiswal. So I'm saying that you have to have, let's say, only three, the top three players who are going to be picked. If I have Jaiswal, if I have to pick from Jaiswal, KL Rahul, and Ruturaj Gaikwad for that matter, and Shubman Gill, one, two, three, four batsmen. I'm going to pick only two of these players because I can't afford to have another player who only bats. I think the
yeah,
criteria should be if you're going to do well, I'm going to pick only two from you. I can't pick, let's say, a Ruturaj Gaikwad and say you bat at number three. That's unfair and unjust to the players who are batting below. Yes,
yeah. We don't build like even IPL teams are not built that way ever.
yeah,
There are always players in the top five, top six who can bowl. Like at least like in the top six, usually there are always players who can bowl, who you can get like 4 overs out of. So you can have like two players who can give a little part time. There are, and in our T squad right now, in our T20 squad, that still is a big problem because even the younger players, they still are. It's the same thing.
I think we like it's all up to the coaching or whoever the selectors or something who decide like I'm a big fan of New Zealand cricket, and for that matter the way they've encouraged players like s- uh currently you have Daryl Mitchell, you have James Neesham. They're neither good as a bowler, neither good as a batsman, but they somehow they manage to fit in and provide the right balance to the team. And I think
Yeah,
India needs to have that kind of player. Like it can be a Shivam Dubey for that matter. It can be a Vijay Shankar. Venkatesh Iyer
yeah,
also could have tried, but they were actually trying to make an opener bat in the middle order, which I felt was unfair. So I think you have to have that one particular slot, like the way you have it for a Hardik and you have it for a Jadeja. So they have to, like in which games you don't have Hardik, you have to give these players at least an opportunity. And they're definitely not going to do as good as an Hardik or a Jadeja for that matter. But if you're going to give them the opportunity to develop, I think they're going to come good someday or the other. So it's just about they have to have a different parameter to judge these kind of players. But I think with the kind of the new rule that the impact rule has come, I think it's completely. I don't think we're going to see more of these players trying
mm.
to, develop secondary skills. So yeah,
Interesting debates there. Talking about players, bowlers who can bat, I think Mark Wood should open the innings for Lucknow Super Giants next year. At least the first over won't be made. Yeah.
He's not out throughout the test match.
I think got
No, no,
40
he
of
got out.
16.
He got out in the
No,
first
no, he got
innings.
out. 40 of
Yeah, yeah, he
16.
got out.
40 of
40
16.
of 16, I mean, it can't get better. 40 of 16, 7 wickets in the test match.
He did,
Absolutely
yeah.
fantastic. Mark Wood is the legend. But yeah, yeah, you can hear my voice, right?
Coming back, I
Yeah,
think we could I think discuss India's playing 11. So I think we're opening with Gill and
No, I think we reached till 5 with Rahane, 6 is Jadeja,
oh
7 is your keeper. It's either KS Bharat or Ishan Kishan. I would go in with Ishan Kishan now
I
because
would
Bharat,
also go in with Ishan Kishan.
Kevin quickly, Ishan or Bharat.
like I wish Samson was there to make the conversation a little more like interesting, but I don't think Kishan. I'm not sure because uh, I don't think Kishan is good against the short ball. And
No, but
for
Bharat is not good. In general, he's not.
it's difficult to say because KS Bharat, I think he needs at least the first test match. For the first test match, you have to back him because
अभी
he's
दे
not.
दिया ना 5 टेस्ट मैच और कितना चाहिए.
Uh, how many did Rohit Sharma get? Oh, he scored a century in his first
Yeah, and even in the
against
second.
West Indies. Yeah.
Yes.
Lucky for him. Lucky for him, he started against West Indies. But I think you
Yeah.
have to give him like I think this is the most you can say weakest opponent that he's going to face.
Yeah.
Mm.
Water sponsored by Crew. Water sponsored by Crew Plus. But yeah, interesting debate. I think
I think
I'm
you
going
have
with
to give him
Kishan. Yeah.
at least the first test match. If he fails, and then you can at least say like, oh, he struggled against the weakest opposition, so maybe he needs to go and improve his game. But you have to start off with him. It will be really unfair because I think even Vridhiman Saha has like kind of he got his second test century against the West Indies. I think I am not sure if it was
Yes.
2019 or 2017, but yeah,
It was 16, I think. 16 he with Ashwin, right?
yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
2016. Virat Kohli
Yeah.
his double century that
Kohli
time.
got
I
his
don't
double
know
hundred. But yeah,
if KS Bharat has that second gear to his innings, like if he can be aggressive, because if for a keeper batting at 7, you need to bat with the tail, and then you have to be able to hit boundaries and like hit sixes, because now everyone's going to be on the boundary when the tail ender is on the other end,
yeah.
and
Ben
you
Stokes,
need to
right?
be able to clear the fence. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
I
if he has that game,
think
and
we are
Ishan
being
Kishan
very
at least has that game.
we are being very strict. I think because Ridhiman Saab for that matter played from when uh 2013,
No, I
2014.
mean at that point India didn't have an option also, right? Riddhiman Shah was the only option once MS Dhoni
You
retired.
could have tried Dinesh Karthik again, but for that matter, if you wanted someone explosive at the back, I'm just saying
True, true.
at that time they wanted a really good keeper, and you had him bat below Ashwin and Jadeja for that matter. So he was coming
Yeah.
Yeah,
in around 8 or something.
yeah.
So you still have Jadeja.
Hmm.
So you can play him below in case if you want. So
Yeah, so let's see, let's see. It's an interesting debate. Let's see on the 12th who plays, but I'm going with Ishan Kishan. Nikhil is going with Ishan Kishan. Kevin is going with KS Bharat. I think 8 they go in with Aksar, 9 Ashwin. I think 3 spinners in West Indies, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. Depends on the pitch, but if it's 3 spinners, it's definitely these 3 spinners, and then Siraj, and then uh, who should be the second fast bowler in your opinion? I
I think
think
it has to be Unadkat.
is it Unadkat? Is it Navdeep Saini? Is it Thakur? Or is it the only three format bowler, Mukesh Kumar?
I think based on the so fa in fast bowlers there's a hierarchy. You'll have
Pecking
like
order, pecking
yeah,
order,
pecking order.
pecking order.
You've
Yeah.
got now your Bumrahs, Shamis, Sirajes, then one below is Yadav. So I think in that pecking order, I think Unadkat is the highest out of all of them.
Quick,
Plus
Kevin,
he's
second pacer for
left-hander.
you. Yeah, quick, Kevin, second
I think
pacer.
I like to see Mukesh Kumar because
Directly Mukesh Kumar.
yeah, because I think I'm not sure on the fitness of Saini for that matter, and I don't think Unadkat has the pace to trouble. Maybe if he's the third seamer, I would like to consider him. But I don't think. But yeah, coming back to that, I think India would like to go in with. Oh, 1 second. So you have Rani at 5. You had 6. Your keeper at in case Bharat. You have five.
Jadeja at 6. Just a
Yeah.
minute before that, I think Nikhil is a busy man and he is not being paid for this podcast, so he said that he has to go. Unfortunately, Nikhil won't be here
Yeah.
for after for the next 10 minutes. But yeah, I hope he joins next week. Next week, definitely let's do on Sunday morning. Today again,
Yes.
an interesting test match was going on. That's why we couldn't go ahead with the podcast. And obviously, Kevin was busy with some other work, which he
Yeah.
can't reveal on camera. But yeah, Nikhil, thank you very much for joining. And definitely, we will see you in the next week's podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah. Kevin, if we can continue, if you're saying that if it's 3 pacers, then you would go in with Jaydev Unadkat. If it's 2, you would go in with Mukesh Kumar as the second pacer, right?
Yeah.
Interesting,
So
interesting.
yeah, so two spin attack. I think Ashwin Jadeja both play. So that
Yes.
so there's
Why not a 3 spin attack?
because I think West Indies would like to have
Green pitches?
slightly bouncy pitches, kind of, because you have 4 good fast bowlers in there. So
Interesting.
I'll be very disappointed if they prepare something that's flat. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's flat and all. Flat and all is a myth.
I'm very keen to see Chandapal Junior do well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taggerine. What is his name? Tagnere.
Tangerine, I thought.
Tangerine, yeah, Tangerine. I mean, we have to get the pronunciation right next time. But yeah, definitely interesting debate on the first 11 for India against West Indies for the first test. We will discuss about the T20 side next week. Huge discussion, huge debates on how Test cricket and T20 cricket are different, which everybody knows. But Kevin and Nikhil got into the debate on why the Indian T20 team is not performing well as well. So that's something we will discuss more on the next podcast as well when we discuss the T20I series between India and West Indies. But remember, the only white ball, the all three format bowler India has now is Mukesh Kumar. He has been picked in all three squads. I absolutely don't understand it on what basis he has been picked. He didn't have like a fantastic IPL season on anything. Yes, he defended 8 runs or 9 runs in one of the games against SRH, but that keeps happening. You can't pick a bowler based on that. He didn't pick 27 wickets in the whole tournament or something like that. So I'm really confused in why as to why he's in the white ball squads. But yeah, that's the case. Kevin, we will be back next week as well. Next week, hopefully Sunday morning EST, which is Sunday evening IST. So the fans back in India, which are zero of them, fans back in India can catch us live on Sunday evening, and fans in the US can catch us on Sunday morning. Kevin, very thank you for joining once again, and I hope that you will be back next week.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me.
I mean, you have to pay me $25 after this podcast. Yeah, I mean, I charge people to come on the podcast. If you don't know, I mean that was the last line in the contract which you signed an hour ago. So yeah, thank you very much for joining this podcast. If anybody watched it, thank you. I mean, what else can we say? Uh, And definitely do like, share, and subscribe Cricket Adda, as we'll be back with this weekly cricket podcast, Wrong One. Thank you very much.